There we are.
Live.
We are live.
Live.
Wow.
And
We planned that.
Where's the burning building behind us?
I have no
what did
idea.
that just say?
Doggone FX.
I don't know, but we're alive, so.
We're live, so we can't discuss these things now, right? Okay. We're having to use my new phone because we don't really have internet here.
Which makes us look so glamorous.
Yes, it's a beautiful camera on my new phone.
It does. It does. It's got a good
Yeah,
camera.
you're
Lights
welcome.
up. Here, thank you.
What you mean to say?
Tap to
is-
invite. I don't think we need anybody else in here. Our biggest fan, Vanessa, is here.
Yay.
we
Welcome,
gotta
Hey,
send
Vanessa.
her-
Vanessa,
we gotta
thank you
send
for
her a
coming.
t-shirt.
She's waving.
Hey.
And Frosty, my Aunt Frosty. Oh, thank you, Frosty. I can't see my face, but that's okay.
Under the comments.
I'm hiding behind the comments.
It's an interesting
Yeah.
way that it's set up. that's her getting out of the way of the comments, yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, I won't announce everyone. Thank you all for coming in. Wow. Oh, I see the
We're
little-
getting a lot of people in here. Hey
This is-
guys,
this is
what's up?
neat.
Hey, oh my gosh. Hey, everyone out there.
Ruth.
Welcome to the
Ruth
world,
from
man.
Mexico
Wow.
is watching.
Oh my gosh.
Hola,
Wow.
Ruth.
Hi, Samantha.
¿Cómo estás? Claudina. Hi, Claudina. Well, we're going to testify, and we're not sure where to start. So, Lord, just give us wisdom. Holy Spirit, help us to know. We have 1 million of them. We won't do all 1,000,000 tonight.
Nope,
We'll
nope.
just limit it to 500. That sounds good. Okay, so,
Awesome.
do you have anything that, like,
Yay, May's watching too.
hey, May. May Mama. Penny Mama is here with our shared son.
Yep. So
anybody have
I
anything?
would.
that's been, like,
I mean, first of all, let's see. If we're talking about the stories, the biggest stories really are, in my opinion, the ones that were on the road, which was.
because that was all miraculous.
So setting up the whole scenario, we were driving around in a van that shouldn't have been working, shouldn't have done what it was able to do.
The windshield wipers weren't working.
It was old. It had probably well over 100-some thousand miles on it, which it was not rated for. We're not talking about a Japanese vehicle. We're talking about a Chevy van. You know, it was a caravan. It
Hey,
was
Beth.
not. Hi, Beth.
Elizabeth Thomas, welcome to our show. We drove through some pretty bad rainstorms in Colorado
Yeah.
with no windshield wipers. This guy drives by the Spirit. I mean, like, really, he does. And that's why we're still alive.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a lot of crazy stuff along the way.
Hi,
Hi,
Nehemiah.
And yeah, so the setup is we driving in that van, which really shouldn't have even been roadworthy. It was miraculous that it was even driving
From Ohio.
from Ohio
all the way to Kansas City.
with a handful of dollars, barely any money,
Colorado.
barely anything.
Arizona, Prescott, then Phoenix, Arizona.
But all along the way, we had all sorts of encounters, and
Yes.
these were just people that we didn't reach out to. We didn't, some of them we had like a little bit of a lead, a little bit of a number. They were with this or that church or whatever. But with a lot of the people that we ran into,
We picked up a hitchhiker.
yeah, we picked up a
Or he
hitchhiker.
ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite a bit later in the story, but we had a lot of. Oh, your battery's about to run out. You better make sure it's plugged in.
That thing isn't working, Gary.
Oh.
Can you reach?
Yep, need to make sure that's fucking. See, technical difficulties. We're trying to do medium here using the phone. But anyway.
Here.
I got it.
No, you don't.
Hi,
Is it
Yolanda.
working now?
How can I tell?
So basically, miracles were a consistent thing all
Yes,
across the board.
we lived on
like
miracles.
we literally did. We literally did. We didn't have enough money to be making that kind of a trip across the whole country.
As far as I can tell, I don't
We
know
didn't have enough friends. We didn't have enough people that would be supporting us, that would be helping us out. There was no support system.
I tried
There was
to
nothing.
email like in some different Christian groups I was in to kind of like put out feelers to see if we could stay with anybody in Arizona, and I didn't get any good reports at all.
No.
They were telling me, don't come.
Yeah.
You're going to die on the hot sidewalks of Phoenix.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So first, one of the places we stopped first, we made it
Hi,
out of
Dorian.
Ohio as far as Indiana. And we got into Evansville, Indiana. And we had favor there with the lady that was the manager of the hotel there, and she got us in a wonderful suite at a really low price. That was like the beginning. It was really awesome. That morning when we were packing up and leaving the hotel, we went, we're all bleary-eyed and tired because we're all night owls. We're not used to, so like even just the time that it takes, getting out of a hotel and having the continental breakfast and stuff was killer for all of us because that was like super early for us.
Getting all our stuff packed in our duffel bags.
And we had to pack that van like a jigsaw puzzle every time because we were loaded, with our whole family at the time, which was lacking.
Each of us only having one duffel bag.
Yeah, each of us only having one.
Clothes.
And in the lunchroom, where the lobby area where they had the breakfast and whatnot, the continental breakfast.
Hi, Elise.
Hi, Elise. We had a man come up to us, and he was well dressed. He's a little older, maybe in his 50s or so, and maybe 60s, I don't know. But he walked up and he just told my dad. He said, "Young man, you are doing something. You are going somewhere. God is with you and is with your family, and I want to sow into this."
We had not even talked to him. He just observed us in the.
Awesome, Yolanda. Glad to hear it. And we didn't know this guy. We're just sitting there eating. We're not doing anything. And this guy is just like, "I want to invest in what it is that you're doing." Yes, this was exactly, Claudina. This was our move from Ohio, which was a faith thing because we didn't have a destination. We didn't know where we were going, except that we had in mind that we're going to go to Arizona. That was something that for some reason we felt led to do, so we're headed towards Arizona. That was the best that we had. That was it. That was a very loose goal, a very loose destination. No idea what we were heading into. No job on the other side, no nothing. And so this guy here at the very beginning, he's like, "You are with God. God is with you and with your family, and I want to sow into it." And he just gave my dad, like, what was it, like $100?
Yeah.
$100 just right there.
$100 bill.
And, we didn't look like we were poor or anything, It's not like we're all dressed up in rags or the kids look depressed or, look at the sad little family,
Somebody was playing the violin.
Yeah, I know. It was amazing, because we weren't asking for anything. That was always, that was from the beginning, that was our lifestyle.
Like
Abraham, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
We just knew we had to leave Ohio. We had some words from people who God just sent them to us to tell us, you need to leave Ohio.
And there's kind of a life lesson to that too. When you're in a place and it's just like things just get worse and worse and worse, and they continue to spiral and go downhill.
The brook
and it's
dries up like it did for Elijah.
It just seems like it's a spiraling depression in the place that you're at, and nothing is ever getting better for you. It's a lot of times it's a sign. It's just time to go.
Yeah.
It's time to get out of there. It's time to take an adventure and go, and don't stay where things are going to continue to get worse.
God had to send
we tried hard to stay, and we had to get a lot of signs that it's like, look, go, it's going to be okay.
We had lived our whole lives in Ohio. That was home. That was all we knew.
That was, absolutely.
And we knew we didn't really have the means.
But we also never really felt at home there either. And that at the time there wasn't a lot of support that we had while we were in Ohio. A lot of the support dried up too. So it was just like, well, what other option do we have? Like God's kind of leading us onward. Other people that are actually speaking and are actually saying anything positive to us are saying, you need to go. And like, this is what God's saying. This is what you need to do. So we go, and immediately from the very beginning, we're getting people that we don't even know. We're not even reaching out to them. They're reaching out to us. They don't know us. They don't know who we are. We're just random strangers on the road, and they're giving us money.
They're kind of telling us what you're doing is of God.
Yeah, which we needed that because we had, like, what are we going to do? Like, this is crazy, We just have to go. We just have to have faith that God's going to take care of us.
We were scared, really, to be
honest. We're like pilgrims on a journey, and we didn't know where we were going or what was going to happen. We didn't have, it's kind of like the Jesus and his disciples thing,
where he said,
our
eyes wide open.
Leave your staff, don't take 2 tunics. He said, don't take supplies, don't take anything with you. He sent them basically on a faith journey like that themselves. And the staff actually represented their identity and how they would be known. So basically, it's like any reputation that you have, leave that behind too. And that was us. We were incognito. We had nothing, and here these people would come out of nowhere and would provide and would give money to us and would help us. That happened in Indiana, and then we started making our way over into Kansas City, Missouri, which was somewhere that we just thought, well, we heard of this International House of Prayer, and kind of heard about its association with Bob Jones, the prophet, and just some interesting stuff that we'd heard about the history of that place. So we're like, we want to stop there. 24-hour prayer and worship
were the big draw for. I just wanted to see what it was like. So we thought we'd visit it, a couple hours and move on. But that's not what happened.
Yeah, so we get there and it was like, wow, like this place is really different. And we get in there and we managed to immediately connect with some really prophetic people that had some things to say that were right off the bat were like, God is moving with your family, and He is here, and He's got you here for a purpose. And they were just saying things.
Stay here for a little bit.
Yeah, and they were saying things that was really just healing for us because we didn't understand the things that happened in Ohio. We didn't understand why God allowed certain things to happen because we were just like, well, we're supposed to have victory, right? Things are supposed to go a certain way, and they didn't. And we were confused about that. We were confused about how we were allowed to be so mistreated by certain people in the family.
And we lost our house, and we weren't expecting that. We were praying to keep it, and it didn't happen the way we thought it would.
Our theology needed to change a little bit. We thought that, that we could kind of make a deal with God of how we thought things needed to be, and it's like, no, it doesn't exactly work that way.
God would never let anything bad happen to us.
There's some American theology for you. Oh, well, we got to have our electricity, we got to have our house, we got to have these things, and if we don't, then God wouldn't allow that.
We were being really good.
Yeah, we're being such very good people. But and miraculously, we did keep that house for what? Three and a half years without an income.
Yeah.
Without an income. Not going and asking for money, not raising collections.
Not even unemployment. Our unemployment ran out. We weren't even going to take that, but then we did, and it ran out.
It ran out pretty quickly. That didn't last long at all.
2.5 years, we were totally no income at all.
Yeah, so it was miraculous, but the time did come that we were supposed to leave.
Yes.
But that was a hard thing to get through. Because we didn't know, what was this all about? It didn't make sense to us because it wasn't what we saw coming. It wasn't what we had envisioned happening.
No, we didn't really have a plan so much, but if we'd had a plan, it sure wasn't going according to it.
No, we had expected more like, okay, well, if we need to go to Arizona, then we'll sell the house. Yeah. We tried to sell the house, and we couldn't sell the house.
Not even for the price we had paid for it 5 years previously. We went down to that price, and somebody was interested, but it fell through, and we just could not sell our house.
But that wouldn't have been faith. That wouldn't have taken us on the wild journey, the wild adventure that we had, where we were just dependent on strangers and people that we didn't even know, and people that we didn't ask for help, and they helped us with large sums of money, and from hotel to hotel, from place to place, they took care of us. But there in Kansas City, we were able to stay because, and I think we told this story last time, but we were able to stay because of Connie D'Ambra and because of her friend Mary, who got us introduced there. So that's, we're kind of falling back to that trail again. We stayed there for that period of time, and then it came time to leave, and we left, and we started making our journey back over to Phoenix. And
by way of Colorado. Because someone had given us a tip about a pastor there in Colorado, and, well, not because, that was just on the way. And we didn't know him, he didn't know us, but he did let us stay. He actually made arrangements for us to stay in a hotel in Lyman, Colorado. He paid for 2 rooms and gave us some money, right?
Yeah, he did.
Gave us some money.
And took us out to eat.
We were strangers. He didn't
Total
know
strangers,
us.
yeah.
the lady that gave us his name barely knew him.
Mm-hmm.
Risa,
Yeah.
if you're on here, if you come on here later, I'll have to tell her that we.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so, and Bill Weisner was the man's name, and he was amazing. He was definitely one of those guys.
A faith saver for us.
He was definitely one of those guys that was hearing from God. He had a lot of compassion and just knew so much. It's like he already knew us before we, had ever met him. It's like he already knew our story, already knew where we came from, already knew how hard it had all been. We didn't tell him anything, and nobody could have known. Hi, Monica.
Hi, Monica. Is that your friend?
Yeah, that's one of my
Monica.
friends, one of the friends of the podcast.
Tagging works.
Yeah, it does.
Tagging
Tagging works. So we, so it was amazing how Bill just saw everything that was going on. It was another one of those really healing kinds of experiences because he said so many things that was just like answering the questions that were burning inside of us, and the wounds from rejection and from why did this stuff happen. It's like he was just speaking straight from the heart of God and just saying, I know what you feel and how you're hurting, and it's going to be okay. It's going to make sense.
He knew like our character. He would tell me about Shawn. He would say, and I was like, yeah.
How do you know Shawn? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Shawn was only 15 at the time, and he could see big things coming for him, and he knew a little too much. He told me that Gary was thinking this was going to be it. This was
Arizona was going to be the destination.
Yeah, and Pastor Bill said it's not, and I was just like, I'm not telling him that because I know Gary's set on a destination. That's where we're headed. That's what we're doing, and that would have popped his bubble big time. I don't know what he would have done. So I didn't tell him that. Yes, I know, Claudina. That's why I like, whenever you're talking, I'm just like, I'm praying, Claudina. I understand. Yeah. So, Pastor Bill.
Yeah, and so after that, he sent us forward. So we made our way, kept on getting through. There's so many crazy adventures along the way. Going through New Mexico, Rattan, New Mexico. That place is a trip. You go through there, it is desert. It's scary. There's like no gas stations in between. So we have this van that's just like barely working and shouldn't even be working, but it is somehow by some miracle. And we're driving through there and we're just like, oh Lord, like we can't run out of gas. We can't have this thing stop out here in the desert in the middle of nowhere. And it didn't, and our windshield wipers weren't working. So there was these storm clouds threatening to come and rain down on us. I was like, oh no.
They have bad storms there.
Really bad storms.
Yeah.
And so we were praying, and the storm just parted around us the whole way. So we got through there, not a drop of rain on us. And it was just like one of those things that was just like, wow, okay, that was God. He got us through there.
Yeah.
And, ended up having to stay in Albuquerque. Albuquerque is scary.
It is.
Albuquerque is very scary.
It is very scary.
I have to test it again after the other places I've lived now, but it was scary. It was a scary place.
Just walking from the hotel to the little restaurant we ate at was...
It felt very dangerous.
I had little children. We had all these little children. We're trying to keep them all together.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like bring little ducklings through some seedy criminal underworld kind of scenario. It was like really, that's pretty spooky. But... we got in there, got our hotel there, and stayed the night, and we're all just kind of like, all right, we're gonna stay the night, and after this, let's get out of here as fast as we can. And nothing bad happened. Did hear a lot of sounds and a lot of crazy stuff going around outside.
We did a lot of praying the whole time.
Yes, that was an important thing across the whole journey.
Every day on the hour, we were praying. That's what we did, because we'd get in the hotel and that's all we had to do was to pray. Yes,
and along the whole way too, like we were led so specifically that instead of just like going to one hotel or another, we had this I don't know who gave it to us, how we got it, but we had this big book of coupons for hotels, and it had the craziest deals for hotels you'd never believe. The prices that we were getting staying at these hotels. which was exactly what we needed because we had barely any money. Whatever money we got just came to us along the way, piecemealing from strangers, from random people. And so we would go yay so far every day, and it was like the children of Israel leaving Egypt. Like, we didn't know how far we were going to get every day. We didn't know exactly what was going to happen. We just go so far, get to a certain point. Well, it's getting about time that we're going to need to quit. Well, what's the next, hotel is going to be somewhere on the map. Really? I had to learn how to read a map to navigate because we didn't have the smartphones. We didn't have
homeschool.
Yeah, there you go. Hashtag homeschooling.
We would eat the complimentary breakfast before we took off.
Mm-hmm. We
would eat one meal on the road, and we'd stop in a hotel. That's how we ate the whole time.
Yep. It was so each hotel, each
at
place.
McDonald's usually.
Yeah, or Long John Silver's when we could find it, and some other locations occasionally. And the each place that we would go, there was really something specific that we needed to go to each location for. Like there was always an encounter, there was always something interesting, always a reason for each of those hotels. So I would be reading through the coupon booklet, and I would be like, I'm really feeling a strong feeling about this one, that we need to go to this one. And, because we're just praying the entire time, I'd be like, this is the one we need to go to. So we would drive and we would go to it. And sometimes it'd be like...
You would navigate and tell Daddy how to get there.
Yeah, I was in the shotgun. I was in the driver's seat.
Hi,
Katie. And I would just know that that's what we need to do. And sometimes it would be like in one of the places in, I think it was in Colorado. It was in Colorado. There was one location that was really close to us, and like, well, here's this one over here, and I just had this feeling like, no, this isn't the right one, and everybody was kind of mad. We're like, come on, Shawn, we're tired. Let's just go to this one. I'm like, no, I really don't think this is the right one. I think we need to go. We were even driving up to it and everything. I was like, I really don't think this is the right one. I think it's this one over here. Okay, so we drive. Like, you've been right so far, like it's worked so far. So we go to this other one, and I think it was like a Comfort Inn or something. Had like a teddy bear emblem or symbol. I don't know if that was something you used to have or what.
Hi, Katie.
But we went in there, and the funny thing is, earlier in our journey in New Mexico, we had taken a man in who had his car break down. Remember, we're talking about how far spread apart those gas stations were. Well, he had his truck break down, had to go all the way to a gas station to go get gas, and was going to have to walk all the way back. But we took him in our van, brought him back, got him to his
overpacked van. He
was squeezed in. He managed to squeeze in. He
was in the passenger seat because Shawn sat back on top of somebody.
Yeah.
He didn't realize there were so many people in there. He just happened to, I guess, look in the rearview mirror or something. He looked back there and he's like, how many people are in here?
So it was something else. This guy was a trip. John was something else. He was like a Californian. He bleached blonde hair and long hair. Cussed like a sailor. But he had a heart of gold because he had gone during the Katrina stuff and had gone down to help people during everything that happened in Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he was actually coming up from from doing that. And so his car breaks down. So we help him get back to his vehicle, get the gas, get back to his vehicle. And, he drove on, we drove on, parted ways. He was back at this same, flash forward, he was back at this same hotel in Colorado, the one that I picked that came second, that nobody wanted to go to at first because we wanted to go to the one that was closer. There was John. So we meet him and see him there in the lobby, and it's like, surprise, surprise, like, wow. Like, that was the kind of crazy stuff.
That was like God set up right there.
Yeah, and he was a really encouraging guy because he was just like, you don't need to worry about things. You don't need to let this stuff